If you're looking to create, grow, and sustain your wealth, download and subscribe to the Pain Points of Wealth podcast at BeBullish.com with Bob, Ryan, and Chris Payne. It's your podcast for market insights, money tips, and real talk on the economy. Download and subscribe at BeBullish.com.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
Sunday morning. With us today is former governor of Illinois, Rod Blagojevich. I said it right. And, so many things to do. Rod, the Democratic Party is in mass confusion. Who is in charge?
The Bolsheviks are in charge. The Bolsheviks have taken over the Democratic Party. John F. Kennedy, Harry Truman, and Franklin Roosevelt, they're all rolling over in their graves. This Democratic Party would be unrecognizable to them. This Democratic Party would be a party they would not only not be in, but they would fiercely oppose, because all three of them, understood the threat and danger to our freedoms, particularly Truman and Kennedy, from, communism and socialism and, tyranny. So it's a very different Democratic Party today than it really has ever been. And it's among the reasons why I think we as Americans need to wake up to what the real danger is, because, they're not just about, it's a convenient thing to attack billionaires because most people aren't billionaires and you're not losing a lot of votes attacking billionaires. But that's rhetoric. What they're really after is the middle class. And the United States will cease to be the United States if we don't have a healthy, vibrant, strong, and free middle class.
I agree with you 100%. But all the gray-haired people from the Democratic Party, which had a lot of great people, including my old friend Bill Clinton, didn't they see this coming? I mean, it looks like not only did the United States got invaded, that the Democratic Party got invaded.
And you're asking me, could Bill Clinton have foreseen this? And the more centrist Democrats, like me, for example, could we have foreseen this? I think we probably could have, but I don't know that there's much you can do. It's part of this is a generational thing. And my hope and belief is, frankly, that we shouldn't lose hope that the Democratic Party will come to its senses because, those millennials and these young people, who in so many cases are idealistic and have been taught wrong things in colleges because of the resentments people have who are in universities for other people who have other success in real life. These things are sort of inherent when you're in your 20s. But when you start going to work and you're in your 30s and your 40s, you learn from life experience that the world works a different way than what these professors are teaching you. So I do think that in some respects, this new generation, like previous generations who have sort of rebelled against, the generation before them, that they'll catch up and they'll come to their senses. But there is something a little more sinister about this movement, and it is because there are forces all over the world that have changed dynamics. And the role the United States is playing today is different than what it was in the previous century. And so the threats that are coming to our country from within isn't just, mass immigration, violating the immigration laws where illegal immigrants are flooding into our country in the millions. It's also the ideas that are coming into our country. And we have economic conditions that President Trump inherited. It's ironic and interesting because it was the Democratic Party that kind of created a situation where we have an economy filled with high inflation, and it's hard for young people to get, be able to buy a home. It's hard for them to be able to afford things. So I do think that there's something a little bit more dangerous about this generation and its views, because they're not, just sort of left center. They're hardcore socialists, communists, and there's a tremendous amount of anger among the activist left wing of today's Democratic Party, so much so that many of them actually embrace violence. It's not an exaggeration to say that. So it's almost as if part of the Democrat Party is socialist, communist, and somewhat anarchist. And that's troubling and that's frightening. And that's why it's important for all Americans who love our country to be vigilant and be aware of what's going on.
Governor, you were the governor of a big state of Illinois, and now Illinois. I mean, when it had Ken Daly as the mayor of Chicago, it was a safe, the safest city in the country. Everything was going well. What the heck is going wrong with Illinois?
Well, what's going wrong in Illinois is what's going wrong in New York City, and what's happening, in other places, Democratic cities, where the Democrat Party, the Democratic leaders have decided that they're going to be basically sympathetic to the criminals, to those who are violating the rules, of violating the laws, not just illegal immigrants, and giving sanctuary to them by creating sanctuary cities, which basically is saying to, well-intentioned people who are looking for opportunity to come to America, but they feel like they can come here illegally because they're being told by political leaders in America, come to our city, we'll protect you, as if our laws don't matter. And then with the street criminals and the gangbangers and the violent criminals and the Democrats pushing things, the crazy laws like no bail laws that are ridiculous and that are and that only make the communities less safe. It isn't just happening in Illinois or in Chicago. It's happening, as you know, in your city and now with your new mayor. So why is it happening? I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that we have radical ideas have become mainstream ideas with today's Democratic Party, and the energy happens to come from that radical left wing, and they're filled with anger, and they're filled with misinformation, and they don't really love America. They actually hate America, and where that happened, how that happened, I don't know other than how they're being taught in school.
Governor,
yes.
America is under attack in so many ways, and
Yep.
Whether it's drugs, whether it's invasion. Is there a foreign, there's investigations going on at the Department of Justice, and I'm not sure, I hope they're smart enough to find the reason and who it is, but foreign money's coming in trying to influence our elections. I mean, in New York, the mayor went from 1% to 40% in like 60 days. And unless there's a ton of money coming in, that doesn't happen.
I think what you're asking me is a tremendously important question, because I do believe that's fueling what's been happening to the new politics in America, particularly in the Democratic Party. I do believe that's the case. I don't have hard evidence right now, but my life experience tells me, and my life has not been altogether uneventful, right, John? I mean,
yes.
Way up high in the governor's mansion, way down low in a 6-foot by 8-foot prison cell for politics, not for crimes. I've seen how they can corrupt the system. And so when you say, is that possibly happening, I believe it's likely happening. And I bet you with the proper investigation, they're going to find it coming from all different places. And you could almost name the suspects. You can almost name places, like Iran, Qatar, places like that. I hate to say it, but I think those are places to take a look at. Not
Iran,
only that,
Qatar, it could be different people. China, Russia.
China, Russia for sure. Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. China for sure, and Russia for sure.
They're trying to they're trying to win the war against the United States of America without using bullets and without using nuclear weapons.
That's exactly how the Roman Empire collapsed, from within, and forces from outside corrupting the system from within. And that's the big danger that we face today. And again, the 21st century challenges are very different from what the 21st century challenge is, very different from the 20th century challenges. After 2 world wars, the second half of that century, America was the superpower. It was, a Pax Americana. That's what JFK called it. And we were without competitors. It's a different world today, and the stuff that those in other countries, like in China and Russia, are doing different things to infect our politics internally, recognizing that the only way we lose our country is if it is destroyed from within.
Governor Rod Blagojevich, thank you so much for coming on this Sunday morning, and keep fighting for America, because if we all fight together, we will win and not lose. Thank you so much.
Thank you, John. And can I say one last thing, John?
Yes.
I would just like to say John Catsimatidis, me, Rod Blagojevich. These are not like names that, families that come over on the Mayflower We came here, our families, our ancestors, my father, presumably you or your father, with an idea that this land of opportunity in America was unique, no place like it. And there's no country like this. And this is a country worth fighting for and defending, because how does somebody like me, kind of a not-so-great student in the public schools of Chicago, which are not so great, I become the governor of Illinois? Only in America. And I know you've had magnificent success, and I'm sure you would credit that to this great country that gave you that success, that rewards hard work, that rewards people who are willing to actually turn into reality the dreams that they have. This is something we must not lose. If we love our children, our grandchildren, if we're looking to the future, this is something we must not lose. And we can't let these crazy, lunatic, Bolshevik Democrats destroy our country.
Thank you so much.
If you're looking to create, grow, and sustain your wealth, download and subscribe to the Pain Points of Wealth podcast at BeBullish.com with Bob, Ryan, and Chris Payne. It's your podcast for market insights, money tips, and real talk on the economy. Download and subscribe at BeBullish.com.